Want to stay up to date with what's happening in St. Kitts and Nevis? How about a place where you can get all important links for the government ministries? What about facts on St. Kitts and Nevis? Search no more. sknis.info is a one-stop shop to find exactly what you're looking for and more. Our website also connects you to our social sites like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Flickr, and SoundCloud. Go ahead, visit www.sknis.info and start exploring. In this edition of Out and About with the PM, Prime Minister the Right Honourable Dr. Denzil Douglas focused on hospitality, and as such, he visited the St. Kitts Marriott Resort and the Royal St. Kitts Hotel and Casino, formerly known as Jacktar. He also made an unannounced visit to the taxi stand in Frigate Bay. On this Out and About, he was accompanied by Minister of Tourism, Honourable Richard Skerritt. Keeping to his theme of meeting with the workers of the various institutions at the Marriott Resort, during a quick tour, Prime Minister Douglas met first with the custodial staff.
Your job here is important. Whatever you're doing, it is important. You have to do it with pride, you have to do it with dignity, because your role is critically as important as the role of the managers. Without you doing it properly, they won't be able to get the accolades. And so the idea is that we're all working together, whether it is in the private sector, as in the hotel, or in the public sector, working together to move our country forward. And of course, for the benefit of all people. Now, after 10 years working in one place, you can get something. But remember, the longer you stay, the more you will get. So there's no point getting out, just leaving after 10 years. Continue in your job, but to have the knowledge and security in mind that whenever you leave, you'll be able to get something.
Thank you very much.
And this has been put in place by the government. It's not the employer who is going to pay, it's going to come from the Severance Payment Fund, which we have already established for several years. Again, it is all for the benefit of the world. You work hard, and we believe you should be properly cared for. We are doing our best. We want you to do your best. We have to work together. The country is a beautiful country, beautiful island. Tourism is now the leading sector. Without you, we could not achieve what we achieve in tourism. So you are responsible for where we are in tourism. You may not believe it, you may not think so, but you are responsible. If you do not make up the beds nicely, there's a complaint from the tourists, they're not coming back here. So you have a critical role to play to make this industry successful.
That is so true. I always tell them that. They have a critical role to play. The guest has to sleep. He has options to eat, but when it comes to sleeping, we have to make sure that these rooms are perfect for them.
The Prime Minister made a quick trip through the engine room and met with the engineering and maintenance department.
You see, most of the times when we come to this hotel, what we see is the front. The food on the table, the rooms that we sleep in. We don't see the men who are in the belly of the business of running the hotel. And so we just wanted to make sure that we understand and you understand that it takes the manager, the housekeeper, the engineering and maintenance department to run the facility. Just to make the point that if you don't do it right, then the hotel is not being managed right. The guests will not come, and the country generally will suffer.
Appreciate it.
we want to say how much we appreciate what you are doing, the role that you are playing, the responsibilities that you have to make this hotel, the biggest hotel in this country, what it is today. What the government is now doing is introducing what is called a national health insurance scheme, so that you would be able to access that scheme. And if it means going abroad for specialized attention that you cannot have here, you will be able to access it. Recently as well, as you know, a lot of our people have diabetes and high blood pressure. These two diseases tend to knock out your kidneys. And once your kidneys go, you go into something called renal failure. And very shortly, you can die. Today, we've now introduced something called hemodialysis. It's like a machine that does the work of the kidney. So that even if your kidneys fail, you can go to the hospital, go on dialysis, maybe 2-3 days a week. But you can still work. At the end of the day, you can still do your work. You might get less wage because you're missing 1 or 2 days from work. But still you can earn a living for your family. And so getting renal failure, kidney disease today does not mean you shut down, you can't do anything, you're just waiting to die. You're now better able to live longer, a better life in a way than if you were having that same disease before compared to now.
The administrative staff certainly could not be overlooked, and Prime Minister Douglas addressed the promotions unit.
And we are grateful as a government that you, just as enthusiastic as we are to promote this country. We want to thank you for your services. We want to say that don't get weary of doing what is good. We are not weary of doing good, and we want you to get the same enthusiasm continuously despite the challenges that you face on a daily basis. St. Kitts is good and lovely, and the people who promote it are good and lovely. We just want you to know that.
We appreciate that. And we definitely appreciate the support of government. I know, the Minister of Tourism, absolutely fantastic. He makes himself available.
I didn't ask you that. Thank you, dear. Thank you.
It's true. The Tourism Authority, they always give us their support, so we appreciate that also. It truly helps us.
They've been through some tough times. It's been a very difficult market for a few years back, but I'm happy to say that things are beginning to show improvement.
Yes, sir.
And you got some exciting summer business that you didn't expect.
Indeed.
Thanks to your decision to find some money for CPL PM.
Yes.
The hotel is going to be full in August.
Are you ready for them?
Absolutely.
You say you don't have enough room, is it true?
We do have plenty of room.
They're busy clearing out all the rooms now that can be made available.
Minister Skerritt took the time to explain why the matter of increasing flights to the Federation is not a simple task.
We don't own an airline, and fuel prices continue to be $100 a barrel, so it's very difficult, and we don't have any competition. We need a critical mass. We need another Marriott.
Another Marriott.
We got 1 or 2 hotels coming. When we get more critical mass, then we'll be able to go to a point where we can have 2 airlines flying the same route.
Absolutely.
Without one collapsing. Mm-hmm. If you get 2 airlines flying the same route, then you have a little competition and the prices squeeze down a little bit. But the truth is that airlines are not putting equipment into routes where they're not making money. Because the world is expanding, the market growth is coming back in travel globally, and they're taking equipment and they're putting it wherever they can make the most money. Because airlines have suffered very badly in the last 5 years. And today, all of them are profitable, mostly. And they're doing that because they've carried up the airfares, and they also shrunk their capacity wherever they could shrink it to optimize the seats. And we, as little players in the business, we just don't have the muscle to it.
Yeah.
But we continue to leverage our relationships and our attractions.
When Prime Minister Douglas met with a larger group representing staff from all divisions of the resort, questions raised included how was the service charge to be divided between employers and employees. The Prime Minister's next stop was the Royal St. Kitts Hotel and Casino, which is currently under reconstruction in 4 phases at a total cost of approximately $20 million. He met with Royal St. Kitts manager John Zuliani, who informed that Phase 2 is expected to be completed by August 31st. Phases 3 and 4 are running concurrently, with 40 units completed and 72 to be completed by August 31st, giving a total of 112. This gives a sum total of 224 reconstructed units, consisting of studios as well as 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom suites. When the Prime Minister sat down with the Royal St. Kitts hospitality workers, they raised the fact that despite popular local opinion, the Royal St. Kitts Hotel and Casino was not just a dormitory for students. Prime Minister Douglas explained why the government allows hotels to accommodate students.
It was a critical decision that we had to take, because when the global situation deteriorated financially and no longer were we having the tourists traveling, because a lot of them lost their jobs, they didn't have money to take their vacation. I mean, people come here because they're on vacation or they come to the business. But when there was a slump globally, very few businessmen traveled here anymore to have conferences. Very few people had the money to take a vacation with their families. So as I said, we took that decision that we would allow students to. We were very severely criticized. Very severely criticized. We're still being criticized. But as I said, we've been able, during the process, to work with John so that he would transform the property from what it originally was to what it is today and what it is intended to be in the future. And that is why you've made a very fundamental point, because one of the reasons why we were hesitant is that, as you know, government would give tax relief to properties if they are hotels. If they are dorms, naturally you would want to review the tax concession. But we were very confident that what was happening here was a transformation of the property from what it was intended to be originally to what is being demanded in the marketplace. And today, what is driving the activities here, as I said, one, students, the services being provided in St. Kitts and Nevis to students. About 15% of what we call the GDP is now as a result of services from students. 15%, which is a major contribution to the national economy. And to a large extent, what is driving construction in the country today is the citizenship by investment program. So I think John in particular has developed an economic model for this property that brings the two main drivers in the economy today, or three: tourism, student services, or tertiary level education services, and the citizenship by investment program. And they're all here on this same property, which is why this property and this particular business is so unique.
Prime Minister Douglas also made an unannounced visit to the taxi stand in the Frigate Bay area, where some passionate discussion ensued. The importance of workers in the hospitality industry was clearly acknowledged by Prime Minister Douglas in his out and about. Do join us for the next segment in order to see who the Prime Minister will visit in their work setting. Want to stay up to date with what's happening in St. Kitts and Nevis? How about a place where you can get all important links for the government ministries? What about facts on St. Kitts and Nevis? Search no more. sknis.info is a one-stop shop to find exactly what you're looking for and more. Our website also connects you to our social sites like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Flickr, and SoundCloud. Go ahead, visit www.sknis.info and start exploring.